Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where I discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we're going to be discussing the final episode of Below Deck Med. So there's not going to be a whole lot that I'm going to be discussing in this episode, but I can't not do an episode for the final episode, so here we go. So, first of all, again, these guests are lovely. They do tip. I thought they could do a little better, but it's okay. We'll get to that in a minute, though. We do finish up the conversation between Aisha and Ellie in this episode, and of course, Ellie's kind of thinking she didn't do anything wrong. Of course, um, and that she kind of the running theme with all of this is that she feels like Aisha is trying to start drama. And yeah, I think she says, "How can I expect like a reference letter from you saying that I would be a great chief stew if you don't see my leadership skills? What? You're not the only person who's done second stew and wanting a chief stew role that still stayed within their boundaries of their job as second stew." She's absolutely delusional, but anyway. And I think the other thing that kind of happens is, well, no, outside of that, is the guest asks Carrie who she would have sex with on the boat. Of course, she says Joe, and Ellie's kind of walking in as she's saying it. Like she wasn't there the entire time, but she kind of walked into her saying it. And she thinks that she's just like, Ellie thinks that Carrie is rubbing the whole Joe thing in her face. And it's like, you weren't there, girl. Like, she wasn't trying to rub anything in your face because you weren't there. You walked into the conversation. And one of the guys says to her, "Get that dick, girl." I don't get it. I don't understand the hype of Joe. I don't. Explain to me. I don't understand. I really don't. But anyway, I digress. Um, that's kind of it. At least what I heard about the whole thing, but whatever. That's basically it with them, with this whole thing. And so yeah, the next day they talk, whatever. Leah's there, like waiting. And Captain Sandy does the thing that I think if anyone else were to do with the guests on board still, they would have gotten in so much trouble. And she's like, I understand this doesn't look good since there's still guests on the boat. But it's sweet, whatever. So yeah, the guests eat breakfast, they pack up, they leave, and all's great. This is the final charter, so everyone's happy. And they got $20,000 as a tip, which again I think could have been a little better, but anyways. And but yeah, they're all happy. It's great. But the thing is now is that they have to plan for the proposal. So what did happen the previous night was Sandy did talk to Aisha about the plans of how this is going to flow smoothly. So basically, Aisha has a core team of people who are going to be helping out with the proposal. So it's going to be her, Joe's going to be writing the tender, and then Carrie and Gail are going to be there as well to kind of help with the setup. And, she needs people who are going to move quickly. So that's kind of what that's going to be happening. But Captain Zanny does say to everybody, like, I want you all there, um, to take part in this. So great. They'll all be there. So when they're like getting there, getting everything prepared to be there, tell me why Ellie makes Captain Sandy's proposal to her girlfriend, to Leah, about her. Like, make that make sense. Oh, why couldn't Aisha bring me to do this? Like, I'm the second You're not working anymore. The job is now over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm her second student. Like, I have to, oh, if anyone does any of the decor without me, I'm gonna like lose it. It's not about you. And that's the thing is like people are like trying to make her feel better, I guess. But under their breath, they're still like, this isn't about you, Ellie. Like how up in your ass can you be that you would make someone else's proposal about how you're being wronged on something? Like, this is an extracurricular activity. This isn't the job, you know? Job is now over. It's so ridiculous. She is ridiculous. I hope I never see her on my screen again, honestly. But yeah, so the actual proposal now, everything's kind of set up, ready to go. Everyone's there, hiding in the bushes, and and Joe is in charge of the tender, like I mentioned earlier, and he's going to be taking them to the destination where this is all going to be happening. And I guess they need to get there before sunset for, I guess, maybe the ambience. I don't know. But they're having a little bit of a difficulty because Joe has got um a rope stuck in the propellers. It's great. And it took him quite a bit of time. I think they had like maybe minutes to spare before the sunset was going to be happening. Of course, Sandy's kind of like freaking out a little bit because she's like, "But they put that here in the marina. Like, that's stupid. It is stupid. She's not wrong. It's stupid." But obviously, she's really stressed out right now because she's like probably counting down the minutes here of when she needs to get there to do this proposal. But with like, I think it was like 13 minutes to spare, he was able to get the propeller free, the tender working, so we can head over. So they do, and they get to the dock. Like Aisha, like the team who's helping is all there at the dock waiting for them. And it's at this point that Liam must have known. Because I'm like, how do you like not figure out that there is definitely something up here? Because you have like them there, to greet them at the dock. You have violinists playing one of the wedding songs that they'll play. Um, like you had to know, like that this was happening today. Like you had to. I'm sorry, but anyway, they visit at the table, and you know, Sandy's kind of doing like that awkward thing of, you know, I don't know exactly what she said here, but it was kind of on the lines of like if you were having a conversation with somebody and you're nervous, it was kind of like, so what today? It's kind of like that. But she's able to snap out of that, and she says a really nice, really sweet thing about how her heart's never beat as one with anyone until she met Leah, and their heart beat as one, and I'm like, oh, it's so sweet. Um, and she gets down on her knee and asks her to marry her, and of course she says yes. So as we know, but yeah, it's this very sweet proposal, and everyone's there and cheering, and yeah, so it was really sweet. It's a very sweet proposal. But then, everyone goes out to dinner club, and these Bree and Ellie are so unhinged because you both said to hell with Joe at this point, but yet when Joe is flirting with another person, you just bad shit. You know what I mean? Ellie gets mad. Bree gets like jealous or insecure or some, I don't know, because he is like has her on his back. And it's like, but you literally told him enough's enough because he's playing games with you. You dodged a bullet, and I told him not to do this in front of my face. What do you want him to do? you know, like it's just, girl. it's actually a little sad over this guy. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but but yeah, it's just so ridiculous. But anyway, of course, Joe and Carrie are kind of flirting with each other. It's kind of a big thing that happens in this episode. Is them flirting, and you're thinking, are they or aren't they kind of situation. But when they leave the club, it's another knot because they're wasted. He's more wasted than she is. My guy is like about to fall over at certain points, and like he goes into the bathroom. She goes after him. He's like, "I am sorry. I'm so shit faced." Literally, he said like so many times. He's so shit faced that the next morning he's like, I literally, the words that came out of my mouth when he's like lying his head down on the table is he dead? It's not okay. But yeah, there's really not much else to really report. Nathan sleeps in one of the cabins because he just like, I'm not. But yeah, it's basically that. The next day, everyone says their goodbyes, and yeah, I can tell you right now, she's never hiring John Ho back. Um, because she's like, I wish you the best kind of situation. But yeah, I don't think she's ever hiring him back. And I'm not sure if I should even Ian. And if anything, I don't think she's hiring any of these people back. I really never again want to see Ellie, so hopefully we'll never see her again. But definitely I think Asia's definitely coming back. I think that's a no-brainer. But and I'm perfectly fine with that. Keep Asia in my life in some degree. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's basically it with the actual charter season. But then we do get at the very end is a glimpse of the wedding, which looked really amazing. Of course, we saw pictures already with some of the pictures I've posted previously when they first got married. But yeah, it was really great. We had Dave doing the the catering, which was really nice to see him. I don't know, maybe that can give us a little bit of like a little glimpse into what to expect for next season. Hmm? Maybe who knows? But we also saw Kate Chastain was there as well, and um, but yeah, I mean, it looked really nice. It was in Florida. It was great, and yeah, and Asia was there, of course. But yeah, it looked really great. They looked amazing, and really happy. So, but yeah, I don't know if there's much else to really discuss about the actual season. I mean, I think that's basically it, but I do have like an update, so maybe we can kind of go through that. So this is an update on Nathan and Gail's relationship. So we'll kind of go through that. So on the after show, they revealed that while they did end up traveling together for about 6 weeks, the love wasn't made to last. For the most part, our time together was really great, Gail said, but I think he just has a lot of emotional maturing to do. The deckhand went on to explain that once she and Nathan began to travel together, she, quote, started to see a different side to him. This, according to her, included a little bit of anger and a little bit of stubbornness and immaturity. Yikes. Another factor, the physical distance between them, Nathan said, was another thing. After they were done traveling, he started a new job, and with Gail back home in Australia, differing time zones made communication complicated. At one point, they could only handle a good morning or a good night when chatting with each other. From there, Nathan said, I just started second guessing everything. Nevertheless, they were willing to make it work for a while, saying, Gail said, we were making plans. We had 1 month on, 1 month off. So we were supposed to see each other a month later. But before that could happen, Nathan expressed his concerns about their relationship. He recalled telling Gail that he wasn't sure the relationship would work unless she came to Europe. saying, quote, the distance was difficult. After not talking to Nathan on the phone for a couple of weeks, Gail knew something was brewing. She said, I knew something was up, and then he ghosted me. Yikes. And then eventually I was like, dude, what's going on? I'm worried something's happened. And then he was like, my ex has called me and I want to give it a go. That feels very Devin like until fast forward a little while after that, and Nathan started talking to Gail again. What's wrong with this guy? She said, I said to him, well, aren't you with your ex? Like I called him out on it, and he's like, no, I never got back with her. I didn't really believe him. If I'm being honest, I'm like, yeah, you're full of it. Nevertheless, Nathan tried to make it work with Gail. Then history just keeps repeating itself. She said, I really wish we just stayed friends because I think he's a great friend. I think he's someone who's awesome to be around. He's hilarious. I just think some people are great friends and some people are, you shouldn't date. So where do they stand today? It turns out that Nathan still has hope for a future relationship with his fellow yachty. We talk every other day, he said, on the Below Deck Med after show. We still stay in touch, and it's nice to see what she's doing and how she is. I wouldn't say it's a closed book, but she'll probably say that for now. Gail, however, noted, I don't regret anything. I regret plenty, but I don't want to say I regret it. I just think if we had stayed friends, I just wouldn't have a bad word to say about him. So if you want to hear more from Nathan and Gail and their fellow yachties, you can head over to there's a clip here. I'm sure you can find it if you just search them. You probably can find it, and there's a clip there from that. But that's basically the update on them. I don't think I have anything else to say about Below Deck. I think we're closing the chapter here. So I think that's it. I think that's the end of the season. I'm gonna say I did enjoy this season for the most part, even though I couldn't stand Ellie. I thought it was a really decent season. I think anything with Asia in it's always going to make it a little better. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So I guess we will see how things go with Blood Deck Sailing, which I'm so excited for. It's probably one of my favorite versions of the show. So I'm definitely ready and I'm here for it. So we will be checking back with that. I think it starts next week. So I'll be here to talk Blood Deck Sailing. I don't know how we're going to handle everything to deal with in terms of Carrie. I guess we'll kind of take it as we go and we'll see how it goes. Of course, if anyone has any issue with me talking about Gary, we'll address that as much as possible. And just let me know and we'll go from there. But that is it for this episode. I do want to also mention I 1,000% forgot to record before the 90 episode 3. So that's going to have to wait until Thursday. You are going to be getting this alongside with Selling Sunset. And so, with that being in mind, we're going to do Golden Bachelorette first, and then we'll move over to Before the 90 episode 3 and 4. So yeah, I totally forgot. I don't know what happened. But anyways, I want to make sure that I'm making everyone aware that I did forget, but it's coming. So with that being said, though, that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea times two. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea times two. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea times two pod. We also have our email, which is at realitytea times two at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there. And you can find me there at www.realitytea times two, all spelled out, dot podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.